Hey everybody, this is Shelton Skelton. I'm here to talk to you today about not believing in everything that someone says. No matter how fantastic the lie can be or the story can be, it doesn't mean that it's the truth. I was always told to believe nothing that you hear and half of what you see. No matter what your family and friends tell you, you always have to take things with a grain of salt. You can't just discount it and say it's not true, but you have to do a little investigation. People sometimes will come up with the most fantastic of lies. Lies that seem so true that you could almost bet your life on it that they're telling the truth, when in fact they're indeed lying. For example, I dated a young lady a long time ago, and we were dating for a month or two. All of a sudden, I get a phone call from one of my friends who tells me, "Hey Shelton, are you still dating so-and-so?" And I'm like, "Yes." "Oh man, please tell me you didn't have sex with her." I say, "Why?" "Oh, because her baby father told me that she has AIDS." I said, "Nah, I don't believe that." "Well, you better believe it, because he said that he has AIDS and he gave it to her." As you can imagine, my heart dropped right into my stomach. Oh my God. I thought I was going to die. I went to go get an AIDS test, and back then, this was the 90s. So back then, it wasn't like now, you get your finger pricked and you do your little thing. No. You had to wait 2 weeks. 2 long, agonizing weeks to wait for your results. The 2 weeks came by. After 2 weeks of misery, they came back negative, thank God. I broke up with the girl. You know, she was telling me, "Oh, he's lying, he's lying." And I was saying to myself, there's no way this guy's lying. This guy was committing social suicide. Who will admit, especially in the 90s, at age like 20, who's going to admit that they have AIDS? You know, who's going to admit that and say that they gave it to somebody? Who does that? So, even after getting tested the first time, I was still so convinced that this guy was telling the truth. I got tested several more times. I kept going to the health department. They kept saying, "Listen, Mr. Skelton, you know, you're negative. You know, we don't know what else to tell you. You're negative." You know, but I couldn't believe it. I was like, you know, even though I had protected sex with this young lady, I was still like so nervous about, you know, maybe they detected in me. Come to find out, a year or two later, I ran into the gentleman who claimed this, her baby's father. And do you know what this guy tells me? He says, "Hey, look, man, I just want to apologize to you, you know, and I got saved, and I really was in love with my baby's mother, and I was so in love with her and so infatuated with her. I didn't want to be with nobody else, so I figured that if I spread a rumor out that she had AIDS and that I gave it to her, that nobody would mess with her." Which was true. Everybody, because the rumor went out. But it taught me something. That this person would lie. I mean, think about that. Think about what I'm telling you. Who wouldn't believe this guy? He's saying, "Look, I got AIDS and I gave it to her and she's infected." Who wouldn't believe that story? And I'm telling you, he was lying. He came to me and told me that it was untrue. So this is an example on how people will lie. And I hope you listen to the story and you're saying, "Wow, that's deep." And it gets deeper. People tell some of the most fantastic lies. A lot of times you have females that say, "Oh, my best friend, she'll tell me anything." Let me tell you something. It's an old ruse that people used to do. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let's say I'm your best friend. And let's say I admit to you I had sex with your brother. I'm a female. Pretend I'm a female. And I admit to you I had sex with your brother. I had sex with your father. I had sex with your uncle. Okay? If I share this stuff with you, you feel like, wow, my best friend, my BFF, she shares everything with me. Okay? But then you ask her, "Hey, did you have sex with Tommy across the street?" She really did. But she says no. Because she knows psychologically you're going to believe her. Because if she tells you all this other juicy stuff, why would she lie about something that's really not that important, or was not as juicy as the other stuff? And that's the psychological ruse that people play. It's the oldest trick in the book. How do I know? I used to do it. I would lie. I would tell the truth about 3 or 4 things that were like, "Oh my God, who would ever admit to that?" And then I would lie about something key. But the other people would take it as gold because they were like, this guy doesn't lie about nothing. But in fact, I was lying. So it's a shame that people do that. We shouldn't do that. We should always tell the truth at all times. But once again, I just want to teach everybody out here in Facebook and YouTube land, don't believe everything that you're told. Investigate everything. All right, guys? Shelton Skelton signing off. I love all of y'all. Peace.